On the 11th of May 2015, the Bank of Ghana announced the freeze of a company's operations for violating the Banking Act 2004.
If Bank of Ghana have ordered them to give our deposits to us, why should they wait? But they are still being the Bank of Ghana that the Bank of Ghana, they have not given the money to them.
I all have monies with DKM and we have yet to receive a peswa.
I can't sleep when I go to bed. I can't sleep. I watch television until 3 a.m. before I can go to bed.
600,000 Ekotun. And Adichino, 2nd April, and now the 500,000
Ekotun. That's on the Ekotun. If you be say, I can look where Kranimia escape you in Sana and find the Chuma, and I'm a
But Kwame is not alone. Corporal Justice Ohene Arthur, a driver with the Bonoahaf Regional Police Command, also has over 100,000 cedis trapped with DKM alone.
I sold my car, I went for a loan, I bought 2 cars. And later on, as soon as I'm a driver, I can't get time to drive my cars. And then the drivers are worrying me. I sold the cars and invested it into that DKM. And
sold 2 cars?
Yes, Hovan and then Ford. And then I was having another Benz and as a private car. I took a loan from Stanbic.
For Corporal Arthur, life has never been the same.
I'm always calling the man. He will see the number, he won't take it. I'll use different number to call him. When he hears my voice, then switch off the phone. That branch manager, his name is James. He's now at Tebubu.
Sounds like that makes you very angry.
Yeah, even though this January I lost my mother and mother-in-law the same month. You see, I have to go in for another express loan to bury both of them. As you know, police, whenever you are listening to the service, you won't anymore. All eyes are on me. Look, I went in for another loan to bury my mother and my mother-in-law in Zaum.
So, apart from telling your superior about this, what else are you doing to get your money?
I've reported one James to my station officer at headquarters. That whenever I see the man, I should get him arrested and send him to office for interrogation.
But with DKM, they are making some payments now. 10,000 cedis.
Now I've seen one of my names in. Maybe it will mature on 30th of this month. So I'm praying whether if I get there and my money will be given to me there, they're fine.
Do you believe you get all your monies?
Initial time, I sent my money in bulk. And then later on, the agent said, so far as they will get their interest higher, I should break it. I should break it down. So that the more the different name comes, the more they also get their interest. That made me now become small boy again. Now I'm starting life again. If I release or I show you my pay slip, you will pray for me. And then that giddy to get that one to my uncle advised me I should involve myself in that bad situation. So you can even ask the whole town. Everybody knows me. Even though when I was burying my mother, due to my gentleness, a certain man bought a coffin for me to bury my mother. So I'm over my dead body. Unless you kill or you threat somebody else, I'll catch you by former media. No, God forbid. I'll never do that. Sometimes whenever the initial time the incident started, people wanted to go and kill the agent and co. As a police driver, I have to rush to the house with my men. Meanwhile, to
go and stop them.
Later on, they say, meanwhile, to have not paid. This is my problem.
So this has affected your life.
Now, if I open my purse for you, you will even laugh at me as a policeman, a police driver. But everything by God. God said, in fear, and I knew definitely that things would change.
But what really happened to these millions of cedis mobilized from depositors? That's the question on the lips of many, especially on this part of town, Sunyai. For some of them, they've simply been ripped off by the company. But a manager of a beleaguered company, Ajiman Bwachi Yadom, rejects this.
People keep on saying that the money was robbing Peter to pay Paul. When BOG came out, they said that DKM deposited monies, DKM had invested deposited monies into about 70% in acquiring certain properties. Are you getting a certain property? So meaning that we are making use of the depositors' monies. Listen, look at the things that you see for yourself, the buses, the kind of buildings.
How many buses do you have?
Oh, we are having close to 72 buses. Close to 72 buses. But the reason is that some of them were not paid for. So the plan pool people, we are having an agreement with the plan pool people. So they came in and we just balanced ourselves with as against the debt that we own them per the buses. Then they took some away. So it
took how many away?
So now I think it's 52. 52.
They took 52 away,
no,
or you have 52?
Now we have 52 buses, which belongs to DKM.
And what other investments do you have?
We have a lot. We have a lot, which I cannot mention all. You can witness
some.
We can witness our building, the main building there. You can witness the mining sector. You can witness the excavators that we are having that at the mining sites. Are you getting it? We are about to do this particular zinc factory when this issue even came. We are about to build a hospital when this incident came. Are you getting it? A lot. We are having a share butter. Are you getting it? And you can even see about the kind of pickups that we are using running. They are all assets.
All of them are there. It's not that you stole the monies, you embezzled the monies and got these depositors, dejected as it appears they are.
Listen, if supposing there was nothing to be liquidated, they would have come to this far. And supposing if they have even, because I know definitely that they assess these company properties before coming out to bring out that we are paying 3,500. Why is that now it has hit to 10,000? Meaning that even at all, if a property was not discovered at that time, now they have discovered such properties and they have realized that DKM, when they sell this kind of things, they can pay even up to the 10,000. And let me tell you, my brother, even the 3,500 that we were paying was paying DKM clients like about 50% or 52%. Now that it has hit to 10,000, I'm telling you that meaning that we are going to the liquidator is going to pay deposits close to 72 to 75% of their clients of DKM.
So are you doing that? Because they accuse some of you of buying vehicles, building houses with their money and so on. Now that you're talking about such agents that may exist, what's happening to them?
My brother, let me tell you, the issues that people are buying cars, people are building houses should not be a problem. Listen, like me, a manager, I'm showing you how to build a house. I'm showing you how to buy a car. I'm showing you how to be rich. So do you expect me to be poor? Listen, Mami can't be with me. Your Bible Bible say. So we Yankupon free what shepherds suffer. DKM and next person. Let me tell you, Martin made us rich. People, I'm not denying the fact that people do not squander money. But about 90% of the workers who are rich now, Martin and DK made them rich.
With the depositors' money?
No, my brother. They were working, taking commission, 3% of at the end of the month, what comes to you, the work, the mobilization so far that you made, you give you 3%. Supposing if at the end of the month, somebody have been able to organize 2 million Ghana cedis, like that is 20 billion, and it's 3% out of it. Do you expect such a person to take women, go to your hotel and buy a lot of pizzas? Do you expect such a person to go to drinking bars, a lot of people, and be drinking out of that particular money with it? No, the person is supposed to do a property with that. Listen, in my office, the lowest person was receiving a commission was 8,000. So if such a person even received a commission of 8,000 for 6 months, what do you expect such a person to do that? Me as a manager, they come to my office, they dash me. A person can dash me like 1,000 cedis, 2,000 cedis, and like, what am I going to do with 1,000 and 2,000 cedis a day? What am I going to eat? How much? I don't go to restaurant. I was in Kranza. I don't go to restaurant. So what? A day, my expenses is not more than even 50 cedis. So if a day I'm able to even get 1,000, 2,000, that is, some people have dashed me. Definitely, I can make good, better use of that particular money. So it's not that we are having auditors in the company and external auditors also. Are you getting it?
DKM is an acronym for Dele Kunde New Martin. That's the name of the founder and then chief executive of the defunct microfinance company. For him, The vision that birthed DKM Diamond was one which sought to only redeem what he says was the bad image of the microfinance subsector as a whole in the eyes of a customer, and not to hoodwink any depositor. The subsector, he tells me, still possesses enormous potential to be exploited.
You know, DKM came in the limelight when almost all the microfinances, in fact, the name of the microfinance subsector was being dragged to the mat. And DKM came, sustained, made sure that, oh look, if we promise you of this, please, the day you come, you get it. This is the transaction you want to withdraw. Come, you come at any time. And that was what most of the microfinances, I think, well, I will not say they were not doing. They were practicing, but they were not active. Maybe their strategies were not all that helpful to the society in which they were. But they should have thought of it, look, our people are demanding for this. Let's try to see how best we can help them. And if it is helping them out, why don't we go the extra mile? We can talk to the Bank of Ghana people. Look, the microfinance subsector is good. It's a good platform. But we want you people to do this. We can write the official letters to them. Look, this is what we think if we do to the microfinance. And they will not just throw it away. They will call you, sit down and see how the strategies that or the policy that you want them to factor it in. And when they factor it in and they see that there's going to be hindrance or this in backlogs, they will say, okay, you hold on. Let's try to do it this way. They advise, and then they try to do the best for the microfinance. I think the microfinance sector is helping a lot. A lot of the marketers, the market women cannot go to banks all the time. They try to just lodge it with the microfinance, and then they do their business by the close of the day.
You are not in to replicate what these pyrams and these people do.
Those kind of schemes, we are not into it. We are into full-time business, and the business is meant for the African continent and for the world. Nobody should think we are into anything like pram and other things. No. We are into stay and help society, and society will also think about whatever that we are doing, and then they help us as well.
Well, the Registrar General's Department last year engaged the services of accounting firm PricewaterhouseCoopers to facilitate the liquidation of a company's assets towards the repayment of monies to customers, particularly those verified. An initial amount of 3,500 cedis have since been increased to 10,000. This, the Acting Registrar General, Jemima Owari, says, has culminated in about 80% of the depositors affected paid off.
DKM is a very special case. It's not the normal liquidation in the sense that there was more of a humanitarian, effect to this whole thing. That's how come we galvanize ourselves to do what we're doing. So clearly we started off with a cap at 3.5. As I keep on saying, it depends on the assets that we liquidate. And we are still in the process of liquidating. So for now, we've reached 10,000. 10,000 for those who put in claims, 10,000 and above, we'll have another tranche of negotiations with them. Depending on the assets that we're able to continue to liquidate, we'll be able to pay a bit more. And I believe after that, then there'll be no more. There's going to be the third and final. With the 10,000, I think we've covered about 80% of depositors who had claims.
Really?
Yes. If they are all able to come and collect their money, payment is still ongoing. So the 20% is the one that we'll have to now. They are the really huge ones. We'll now have to negotiate with them in total. But we told you it was about 540 million Ghana cedis. It's now 10% and below that are getting payments. Those who have 10,000 and above will have another tranche with them.
Okay,
yes.
So as we speak, is those for 10,000 and below?
No, for everybody. It's across board. It's for everybody. So if you have 10,000 and above, you get 10,000. But that's not the end. That's a threshold for now. It's not the end. So going going to the next level, we'll find a way of negotiating something with those huge figures, 10 and above. So they will get something again. It's not going to end at 10,000, but those 10,000 and below, most people would have been satisfied. That's what I mean. So in that sense, I think we've really done well, because it's not been easy. We've been abused and vilified and everything, but it's for God and country. We didn't go putting any monies in anybody's pockets. We were just appointed to do this job, and with the help of God, we've been able to come this far. Initially, it wasn't good, but now I think it's smooth. You don't hear much. Some are happy. As always, you can't satisfy everybody. You can't. On the whole, I think more are happier than, those who are not happy. Yes, definitely. I mean, you hear complaints, but it's more of, and another thing, some of the people we have, contracted, I don't know, but somehow things were going wrong at that end. They'll be collecting monies from these people to jam the line. All those things were not right. No, in the various regions. Yeah, I can't control that. I mean, I will hire you to do a job, but collecting monies from people, you shouldn't. No, these are people who have suffered and they're coming for their monies. Why should you collect monies from them? So such people, some have been removed. Some have been, but those are some of the challenges that I can't really do anything about. But on the whole, many people have been able to get some of their monies back. Some didn't get all, but at least it's better than nothing. And as we get the assets also released to us, a lot of things, a lot of them were sent to court, and they were attached, so they will have to be released to us for us to sell, liquidate, and continue the process. So it's an ongoing process. That's what I want to say. I can't tell you that I'll finish in February, I'll finish in March. I'm hoping before the end of January, we should have finished. January to February, we should have finished that tranche, and then we'll go on to the next one. So before we came on board, of course, the claimants needed their money, so they went through the legal process. That's all. Some had some assets attached, some did not. But once liquidation kicks in, all those things have to come to a stop, because you have a larger pool of creditors who are also relying on the very same assets to be satisfied. That's the whole idea of liquidation. It's not the very few who just take maybe a bus or a TV and just satisfy themselves. There's a larger pool of creditors that have to be satisfied. So the liquidator comes in to stand in place of the directors and the shareholders to ensure that all creditors are given something ranking pari passu. So there's a procedure in which we do it.
I've had many people asking why scandals of this nature keep recurring. And I must say, I've also been asking the same question. Banker and financial analyst Frank Odrokwache attributes the phenomenon to what many have said is simply greed.
It does happen in the world of finance. I mean, Ponzi schemes persist, or they exist in even developed markets, in America, in Canada, in United Kingdom. And it all comes down to one thing. People want more, but in the world of finance, you must always measure, or your return should be looked in another lens of risk. If you're asking for so much return, are you willing to take so much risk? Because the higher the return, the higher the risk. If you ask for so much return, then there's a likelihood that you're putting your money at risk. You could lose everything. And so I'm not surprised this is happening at all. And this is not going to be the last that we are seeing in this, market.
Really?
There will always be people who will be greedy, looking for returns, and there will always be people who also want to take advantage of people, promising them something they know they cannot deliver, and it will be there.
For depositors like Kwame, whose investments exceed the 10,000 cedi threshold, the payments being made bring no relief at all. Kwame wants the Registrar General's Department and its associates to grant him the leave to sell off the properties identified and as ordered by the court to enable him resuscitate his business and also take care of his family.
If government says it has no hand in the DKM scandal, they should just allow us to sell the properties to defray the debt or pay the monies back to us.
Drop for no crown or more charge ye giska, and some more coached a cars in a court or my order be a cofaba. Now, dear, was winning move in we are what don't start as a wubit and I went to you. Now, cars in the goose in Yana. And so when I see you, the gas in your diamond being crow, be as Jack of fires in Yan.
Then they should just allow us to sell the properties to defray the debt or pay us the money. I have spent about 6,000 cedis plus other expenses to transport the vehicles to town.
Make almost be 60 million. No, no, Miss say me to me the 30 million, 20 million, my almost first almost ends. Miss transfer 10 million can home. Miss depot to scanning your man near my year and the mam year court. A year the cook must my value a value can value about cookaba 14 in a year 4 billion.
This 10,000 cedis payout they are making is insignificant and is an insult. How could they pay that amount to someone like me who has deposited 1.4 million cedis? This simply does not add up, as I have already spent over 5,000 cedis pursuing the matter in court plus other expenses.
But now station one day now I'm producing an autumn watching here already and I'm in price or that's because this one is do on the minim watching here now by in son torma and on the na or cotton and minute. But knowing us or bar or more mobile or muntiminto and as or muskans no catch it. And I'm producing a boa me cry ye people in be boa me yes and goodies of betonanka. Many mistika ufuna court on them sabeto soa. Ama menyakuri.
For many people, the rip-off by DKM is simply a Ponzi scheme. The scheme is named after Charles Ponzi, who became notorious for using the technique in 1920. The idea, present in novels, was actually performed in real life by Ponzi, who with his operation took in so much money that he was the first to become known throughout the United States. Ponzi's original scheme was based on the arbitrage of international reply coupons for postage stamps. However, he soon diverted investors' money to make payments to earlier investors and himself. DKM Diamond in Ghana did same.
When you are doing a Ponzi scheme, always the people who go in first are successful. But they will go and tell the story. Yeah, so that is what has happened. Because they always say, oh, I know this man who went. They always referring to somebody. And that somebody will also refer to somebody. Like I said, those who were smart from the beginning, you go in there, you put in your money. Your first interest you take, your second interest you take. So by the time the thing will burst, at least the interest you have accumulated is even more than the principal that you have invested.
The main regulator, the Bank of Ghana, has a big task. For many people, the bank was simply negligent. The regulator must be proactive. Frank Odrukwache again.
I don't think Ponzi schemes can be totally be eliminated. It can or it could be minimized. But to say total elimination, I don't foresee that in the world of finance. They could tighten the ropes, they could do all that they have to do, but there could also be instances where people will go, what I call in the underground markets and do things.
Would prosecution of those who operate such schemes not help?
Prosecution will help. But the question is that if you prosecute those people, put them behind bars, how does the ordinary man on the street recover his lifetime savings?
Perhaps after recovering the money?
He might not be able to recover the entire money. If Bank of Ghana doesn't become magnanimous or generous to say that, okay, we will step in and pay some compensation to these people from realizing the assets of the organization. For instance, in certain instances, if the organization has no assets to be realized, then there's nothing at hand for, the depositors. They've lost it, and they can't recover anything.
Made the effort to unlock the key to Ghana.
In the lead up to the 2016 elections, the various political parties promised to pay back all of depositors' monies. Both the NPP and the NDC gave depositors reason to be optimistic. With the NPP in power, depositors are expectant and want to have all their monies paid, and paid in full. But while the discussions go on, it's important to ensure the central bank works to protect depositors. It's crucial for the bank to check the many so-called microfinance companies being opened in street corners and nooks and crannies, all in a bid to rip people off. I'm leaving Sunyani now. Kwame and the many like him have this message.
Sika ye moja.